Good afternoon, friends. Today, I have a fabulous project for you. Actually, I am recording this on Thursday, December 4th, but you're going to see this on Friday, December 5th. So welcome to my craft studio. If you're watching the recording, please say hello and let me know where you're from. And if you've enjoyed this video, give me a thumbs up and ring that bell if you're new to my channel and subscribe. Okay, so today I'm Nancy Thompson. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator here in Skaneateles, New York, and I love sharing creative ideas with you. I love inspiring you. I love to, so you share those creations with others and make the world a better place. Fill it with joy with cards. Send those cards with a hug in the mail. Okay, so today it's a sneak peek from our, well, it's kind of like the mini catalog and the online exclusives. We're using a whole bunch of stuff and I hope you love it. So it's kind of a continuation from my Wednesday live this week, and we made this this fun scrappy card using the square snippet designer paper. Trying to remember all the names for all the new product, and yeah, and new embossing folder. I'm trying to think, what is the name of the embossing folder? All in a row. So let's get going to my desktop and we will get started. Let's see, there we go. And I apologize for my lighting. We have a gray, snowy day here this afternoon. The snow just started just a little bit ago, and I'm gonna wish I'd gone up to get my my mail because we live like ways off the road. It's like a 5-minute walk up to the mailbox. So anyway, so here are the ideas from Wednesday. We just use that square snippet designer paper because they have 3-inch squares, and I cut them into 1.5-inch squares and just made a collage type effect, add a die cut label, and we use the new let's see, let's grab this, the new fragrant layers. This is a bundle from the online exclusives. Today we're going to just use just a note out of here. We're not using the stamp set or die for today's card. We are going to create a pinwheel card. What else are we using? And then here is this all in a row embossing folder. It's fabulous. So it kind of gives that quilting look with ease, okay? And it is a regular embossing folder, so it's not a 3D one. So I want to make sure you know your sandwich for this, okay? We're going to start with platform 1, and then we're going to have a platform number 3, which is the clear cutting pad. And you notice how well loved mine is. I always keep one designated for the bottom, and then I have one, usually this is labeled for the top, and I don't get that warping of my cutting plates. You have to start out with 2 new ones. You can't, it won't, for some reason, it won't, like if you have one that's already got the little hump to it, it's not going to flatten out for some reason. But if you always keep the same one on the bottom and the same one on the top, your cutting plates are going to last you a really long time. This has been, I should start dating them, but this has been in use for quite a while, and I don't flip it. I keep it just in the same position until it starts to get a little bit of a hump. And then I'll flip it over and use the other side for a while. And it doesn't really matter which side you use for the top plate. So anyways, let's go back to our sandwich for this embossing folder. And it tells you specifically, I got little pieces of cardstock, with a standard embossing folder. Plate 1 or platform 1, a cutting plate, which is number 3. Okay, and then our folder, and then one more cutting plate. So that's your sandwich to do your dry embossing with. Okay, let me just put that out of the way. And then let's look at the designer paper that we're using today. As I said, this is a fabulous set of paper. It's 12 by 12, and you're going to get, there's 3 designs, 3 double-sided designs, and you're going to get 4 of each of the designs. So these are 3-inch squares, and then this is a 4-inch square page, and I love, this is my favorite, but even this is pretty. I think there's such a versatile designs that you can use them for a lot of different things. And then here's another 3-inch page. And then the flip side are kind of really faint. These are kind of like geometric type, you know, images. All right. And then this one has a petal pink background with white bouquet flowers. Okay. So that's our designer paper. So I simply have cut up just one each of the 3 different papers and made my squares, and I'm slowly working through them, okay? And of course I have another one with some that I've cut into smaller, so I can make more pinwheel cards, or I can do this collage-y look with some more, okay? And I pretty much kind of use the same page color squares within each other because I feel like they coordinate really well with each other. Okay, let's get making our card. Let me know in the comments too, as you're watching this replay, if you have ever made a pinwheel card, okay? So we're first gonna start out with a template, okay? Because we are using a, let me just double check I did my measurements. Yes, we are gonna use for our pinwheel card, we're gonna use 2 pieces of cardstock. These are our matte layers, and these are the designer paper that I'm going to use. So we're going to do this from start to finish, okay? So we obviously have to cut these down because we are going to use, I didn't write that down. They are 1 1/4 inch squares, I believe. I better double check my measurements. Yes, we are, I want to do this. I'm going to write this on the template. Use 1 1/4 inch squares of DSP, and then the cardstock is 2 5/8 inch squares. Okay, just so you have that. Okay, now we have a template that we can use again. So obviously your DSP squares depends on how your mat is. And your mat's a little bit different because doing the math is a little bit trickier, but we can do it, okay? So we have to divide the 2 5/8 because we need to find our center point on this, okay? So because we need to create our pinwheel, and when we do that, we are going like this. We're going to lay it out, and then we're going to be able to easily add our designer paper to it. But because these are 2 5/8, we need to do the math, okay? So you're going to find a center point. I think I started, I'm not sure where I started. I guess I started at the 5-inch mark right here, okay? And it went over 2 5/8. So I started that, but I also wanted to find my center. I guess I started here and here to make my square, okay? Because that's easy. So we have to divide 2 5/8 in half, okay? So that's going to be, I should have wrote this down. So 2 1/2 is 2 1/4 inches. So I would go over, or 1 1/4 inches. So I would be going over, I need a pen or something. Let's see, what do I have here? Here we go. So here's my thing. This is a 1 inch, and then we have a 1/4 inch, okay? And then we have to divide that 1/8 in half. So it would just be a 1/16 of an inch. And if you look down on our grid, the 1/8 is a bigger thing, and it's a little tiny one in between that is your 1/16, okay? Your little tiny one measurement is your 1/16. So, and then I drew a line to get my center point, because when you do this one, then you line up your points on here with those center points, and that creates a nice, I don't know how many sides this is. Not really an octagon, but it's some type of square. Okay, so hopefully you are all with me so far. So I'm going to line up my bottom square dead on, and then we're going to just kind of glue these together. I'm just going to put some liquid glue in the center, and my liquid glue is not working, so hang on. Let's grab this, okay? Because I'm going to want that other one. Just add a little bit of liquid glue in the center because I don't want to go out into the points here, all right? So, and then we're going to put this one on in the opposite direction, lining up my points, okay? And let's just secure that. Hopefully I got it down there enough. Maybe I'll put a little bit here. Okay, I need to find a needle or find a glue that works because we're gonna want it for the designer paper. That one is not going to. This was working yesterday. I think I left my my lid off, and I don't know if I have a pin on my desk. This is awful. Hang on, let's I've got a bunch of these, but these larger ones are a little bit harder to squeeze for some reason. I don't know why. Well, this one might work. We'll just give that a try. Oh, I found a pin. Hang on. I think. The one I keep in a bottle because I've lost the topper. Okay, sorry for this delay. This is real timing, right? Oh my goodness. I pushed the thing way down into the bottle. Probably going to get all glue here now. Okay, I think we've got it. Let's just push that out a little bit more. Okay, let's just see if we can add a little bit more glue. Okay, it's working. Yay. Let's move these other ones out of the way. Okay, now we're going to add our designer paper. We don't need our template anymore, okay? But I forgot, we need to cut. So we're going to just simply cut these. I'm going to cut them both at the same time. We need 1 1/4 inch square. So I'm going to do 2 cuts. 1, 2. Okay, this can be some scrap that you can save for a scrappy card, because we're all about using up our scraps, right? And we're going to turn it on its side. We're going to cut the other way. So there's 2 there. Here's another set of 2s. I don't know. I probably would throw these away because they're tiny. Just make sure you keep your paper even so you get square squares, okay? Oh, let's see. Sometimes I look at the paper to see, what am I cutting off? Should I flip it around or not? Okay, we've got our 4 sets of squares. Now, I don't think it really matters which designs you start with. Okay, so just pick one and just run with it. Okay, let's start with, okay, now your first one's your first important one. We are going to just add a little bit of glue in one corner, okay? And I got to think which one. Yes, we're going to, so my glue is in this corner, so I'm going to leave it in the upper left, and we are going to have just a hint of border showing, okay? You see that? I chose white because we have the green, and green was too much. Now we can go and glue the whole piece on the next one. Whoops. So we're going to do this corner into this corner, and we're going to work our way around the pinwheel, okay? Just gluing every other one. And I should say, you could look at the design to see what's going to be covered up. So we glued up there. This is so when we get to the end, we're going to be able to tuck that last one in. Now, if you pay attention, you're going to see these are all lining up together, okay? So if you're just, that way you're leaving the same amount of border as well. Okay, let's do this. So remember, if you're new to my channel, make sure you subscribe to my newsletter, because that's where you're going to get a PDF of some of the videos that I share here on my channels. And also where you hear the latest Stampin' Up! News and whatever I have going on as well in my business, what classes I have going on, etc. Okay? So make sure to subscribe to my newsletter. You simply go to createwithnancy.com and subscribe and hit the subscribe button, and that will take you to the newsletter. One will pop up for the newsletter, and one will pop up to subscribe to my website. You want the newsletter. If you want both, you can definitely do both. But to be honest, I haven't been blogging lately. Okay, so we're going to see how that's lifted up. So now we can completely glue this one down, okay? So we're going to add this down, and then we will add some glue to that other flap. Let's just glue this down right there. And everything, like the points are all lining up. I mean, it's just kind of like, look how those points are lining up. It's just like you're quilting a card here. Now we'll go in and add some liquid glue to this flap right here. And then glue that down, okay? Look at that pinwheel. I like this. It came out great. And the only way to get these products right now is to join the Stampin' Up! Family. We are always looking for team members, new team members to join our team, and so we would love to have you. If you want more information, the join kit is currently $99 plus sales tax, and it's free shipping, and you can choose $125 in product in your kit for $99. So I've already embossed this Darling Duckling piece of cardstock. Can you see that right there? It's absolutely gorgeous. And we're going to use, and I've already scored a 4 1/4 by 11 inch piece of Darling Duckling as well at 5 1/2. And just making sure it's all lined up. Looks good there. Do this. I like just embossing a quarter sheet and then putting it onto my card base. Just a little easier to maneuver in the die cut and emboss machine. Need to just trim off. When you emboss, it kind of flattens out your paper a little bit, so you might have, it might make the piece of cardstock you just cut a little bit bigger. All right, that's looking great, isn't it? Look at that, Darling Duckling. There we go. So we're gonna put this on our card just like this. And we're going to do it with some dimensionals, okay? And some of these products, if you need to order just anything, can be ordered at createwithnancy.com as well. Just click the Shop Now button and it'll take you to my online store. And right now there is also, what specials we have going on are our paper pumpkin sale, our Cyber Monday. This is good until December 9th, okay? So if you have been putting off subscribing to Paper Pumpkin, it's our monthly subscription that comes to your doorstep every single month like clockwork. And it has everything all inclusive, all your stamps, your ink, your adhesives, etc. Okay, it's a fabulous way, and they have some really, most of the subscriptions save you at least, they start out saving you at least $20 a month for a 3-month subscription. So that is really cool. And it starts out with the December subscription. If you're a current subscriber, you can still add on a Paper Pumpkin subscription because maybe yours is running out like mine is, and I need to resubscribe for a while. But unless you want 2 of the December kits, you need to suspend your current subscription, okay? Because anybody who does take advantage of the sale, they will be sent the December kit, okay? If you have questions on it and don't quite understand, feel free to message me. Okay, we're using the Just a Note and the Secret C, and I need to get a Secret C ink refill. Mine is a little bit dry. Okay, that's not bad. Doesn't look too bad. Okay, and I forgot to say, we're using the 3 banner punch. I love this punch. So we're gonna do this and just punch this out. Makes it so simple, fast, quick, and easy. This is because there's a new catalog coming out. Demonstrators get together and we do some swapping. So I've been thinking about my card swaps, and I think one of them might use this punch, but I can't share it until December. We're asked to not share our swaps until the swap is due, or in January. Okay, so I've added a couple dimensionals, and we'll just kind of center this down here. But I think it needs a little bit of bling. So we're gonna pull in, yes, what are we pulling in? We're gonna pull in some basic rhinestones, okay? So let's add in some basic rhinestones. I love our Take Your Pick tool. And let's put a nice big one right there. And then we're gonna just take a couple of these little ones. Just put them right here, just to kind of, I don't know, offset that a little bit. Draw the eye to everything, right? Okay, so what do you think of this? Make sure to leave me a heart, thumbs up in the comments if you're loving this card, and let me know if you're going to give it a try, because I love to know if you make a card. Lots of you message me to say and share with me your photo of the card that you've made, and I love seeing that. So don't hesitate to reach out and share with me what you've made after I've shared with you an idea. So I'm gonna just keep it simple and leave it blank inside because it's just a note card. And then I emboss the flap of the envelope. Can you see that? There we go. Isn't that fabulous? I think it looks great. The yellow, the greens. I'm glad I picked the white versus it just pops off the darling duckling. And if you missed my tip on Wednesday, I highly recommend, if you're embossing the flap of an envelope, to do 2 envelopes at a time, okay? Make sure it goes in flat. I just line it up the edge and just run it through 2 envelopes at the same time, okay? Otherwise, it could be cutting, the pressure could be cutting through your envelope flap, all right? Okay, phew, that was a lot, wasn't it? So if you need to order any supplies, there's order at createwithnancy.com. Click the shop now button. And what else do I need to share? I made a list, and let's see, paper pumpkin. Last chance list was also just updated. So check that out, okay? And see if there's anything that's retiring that you're loving. There's a lot from the holiday mini that's on there, and some things are discounted. So don't be afraid to check that out as well. Some of the Christmas paper is already unavailable. So unfortunately, the Traditions of Christmas and the Christmas Tags and More paper is already unavailable. So shop early for the best selection. Always shop early. Our next, okay. All right, so the new mini catalog and the online exclusives start, I believe, January 6th. Excuse me. And if you have any questions, I still have a few openings for Friday's Crafters Tea. So if you're local to me and want to come join me next week on Friday, message me ASAP. I think there's like 2 spots left. So so come join me for that. We have a fabulous card sketch for that as well. There's information in my newsletter, so make sure to subscribe to that newsletter in case you missed it, okay? Other than that, I wish you a fabulous weekend. I'm doing another craft show this weekend. So, so hopefully the weather is good and it's not snowing like it is now out there. And we have sunshine and just good weather. Cold, we can all deal with. It's the snow and the messy roads, I think, that is hard to deal with. So, okay, I so appreciate you all and thank you for joining me. And we will see you again next Wednesday at 3 p.m. for some more Creative Ink. Thanks. Bye-bye.